I'm a security guard, and I just watched footage of my own death. Final update by Mr. Outlaw. Yeah, the black sedan is definitely on me. How many people are chasing me at this point? I couldn't find any spare revolver ammo in the truck, and I don't think buying a gun is feasible right now. Not like my shooting was any good regardless. The sedan just made its 7th trip past my window. Are they just taunting me at this point? It certainly feels like it. Also, I've been experiencing some weird things. Not like more headaches or anything, but sometimes I'll blink and the lights to my room will suddenly become darker, or a window will move over a few inches. What do they call these? Glitches in the Matrix? Well, add them to my laundry list of problems now. I've been forcing myself not to sleep, since I reckon these guys could probably just break in and shoot me in the head at any time. They know I'm here, so honestly, I don't know what they're waiting for. I've considered running off, but where am I supposed to go? They're obviously tracking me somehow, so that seems fruitless. I never remembered falling asleep at any point, but I must have, given the fact that I was jarred awake by gunshots. I rushed over to my window and looked outside, seeing the sedan now riddled with bullet holes. And guess who'd done it? It was my copy. I'm not sure if he thought that it was me inside the vehicle. Maybe he had multiple targets. Whatever. He was certainly after me now. I could feel another headache coming on, and not only that, but the room around me seemed to start to, well, shrink. Still in a reasonably cogent state of mind, I told myself that it wasn't real. I knew that it wasn't real. It all came to a head when I saw a shadow passing by the curtains. In a rather irrational move, I fired a shot at it. Now, I'm not really sure what I was thinking there. It was probably just pent-up frustration. I simultaneously missed and gave away my position. Still reeling from the headaches, I ran into the bathroom as I heard my door being knocked down. My copy was in. I hid in tense silence as I heard him walk around the bedroom. This wasn't going to work, I thought to myself. There weren't many rooms that he'd have to go through before finding me. 2 bullets left, I thought. I grasped the revolver as he approached the bathroom door. It was the last room that he hadn't checked. The door suddenly flung open and I took my last 2 shots. Both misses. I was now cornered and my headache was reaching nearly unbearable heights. In a last-ditch effort, I tried tackling him. Thankfully, it took him by surprise and we both went tumbling back into the bedroom. But that was about the extent of the fight I put up. I didn't have any combat experience after all. He delivered a few blows to my stomach and I was suddenly laid out on the carpet, with him standing over me, aiming a pistol point blank at my temple. "Wait," I asked him, trying to come to terms with my obscure loss. Look, you've won, but could you do me a small favor and please explain to me what's been going on?" He lowered his gun slightly before smirking. "Yeah, sure, that's the least I could do." I got my answer, but I'm still not entirely sure if I fully understand it. He is me, not a clone. We were one and the same, just from different realities. He explained how the universe that he'd come from was considerably further ahead technology-wise than mine, far enough to the point where they'd nearly perfected a form of dimension hopping. But in his world, he was also a criminal. A large-scale thief. His most recent endeavor? Stealing one of the devices that would allow someone to traverse to different realities. Things went messy during his plan, and he was forced to use the device in order to orchestrate an extremely convoluted escape. Ultimately, he ended up here. But the problem with entering different realities lies in the fact that there will likely be another version of you, and that directly goes against the laws of the natural universe. You see, him and I are identical, but at the same time, we're not. There are subtle differences that set the realities apart, and when they start bleeding together, even in the slightest, the universe it just can't accept it. At first, the problems are marginal, but the longer that the two different versions of the same entity exist in one reality, the worse it gets. Not just for the two involved, but for the reality that they're in as a whole. That's why killing you was a top priority for me, he said. It's nothing personal, that's a given. But I can't evade the police that are trying to catch me if this reality starts falling apart. You've felt the headaches, haven't you? Seen the visions? That's the universe saying that one of us has gotta go. I can deal with everything else later on, but for now... And with that, he raised his gun once again and said, "This needs to end." "Oh, please," I said as I put my arms up in defense. He hadn't explained everything yet. Like, why were there more than one copies of us in this reality? Like the one that he killed when I first stumbled upon the security footage. But we never got a chance to get to that. "Drop the gun!" A booming voice suddenly came out of nowhere. At first, I thought it was the police, but I threw that idea aside as I caught a glimpse of who it was. 4 large men wearing what looked like expensive, militarized suits of armor were pointing massive armaments at us. Across their chest were white letters, NC. My copy sighed before looking at me, eyes filled with annoyance. "Look what you've gone and done," he said. The armored men talked amongst themselves before one of them approached us. He took out some kind of device with a holographic screen. "Look into this," he said to me. Without another option, I obliged, staring into the center of the screen as the thing seemingly scanned my face. After a few seconds, it was over. "He's the correct version. Take the other one away," he said before putting the device away. The rest of the men restrained and then led my copy out of the door. I could barely react as all of this was happening, simply standing dead still until the sun came up. When everything was said and done, I finally went back to my apartment, still in an extreme state of shock. I haven't made any contact with the police, nor have the police attempted to contact me, so I'm not really sure where that's going. I suppose I should be glad that this whole ordeal seems to have been concluded. But there's still one thing that disturbs me. The last I saw of my copy, he was smiling.